Welcome back to part 3 of our Streamer Therapy podcast, season 4, episode 12. If you missed part 1 and 2, stop, go back, watch or listen to it, or watch it in any order you want, or listen to it in any order you want. I'm not your mom, but I am your grandma.
Oh.
But cue the laugh track there.
Did that work?
Yeah, that was great. So we're continuing the Behind the Hammer. As you know, the mods are here. Pretentious, Collection Revolution, OneoftheBarrys, and me, your grandma, UK. So we're going to move on to the ugly, which is trolls, burnout, and drama. So, what's the worst situation? The worst you've had to deal with as a mod, and how did you handle it?
Oh,
it's hard to rank, right?
It's hard to rank. He's had so many.
there's a lot of moments.
Yeah, so many moments.
Probably the worst is when you're trying to figure out your boundaries, right? You've got somebody that's pushing boundaries, and you don't know if you like. And this can be like in mod chat. There can be multiple of you going, "Hey, do we need to do something about this? Do we not need to do something about this?" Right? Or, "Hey, there's a longtime user of the channel and they're going through something, and you just like, they're not doing the thing that they usually are doing," right? And being a good part of the community. How do you deal with, something that's changed like that, where it's like, "Hey, yeah, you're pushing the rules to the point where we're going to have to do something about it," right? So, I know Tim's had at least one example of this, of somebody who was, hey, they were in chat for months. They were fine 90% of the time, and then 10% of the time now and again, just absolutely not okay, right? Like, definitely breaking boundaries of what's okay. And like, do you have a conversation with them? Do you pull them to the side? Do you send them a message? And at least in this particular instance, like, we had group chat in the mod chat, and Tim did try to reach out a couple times, basically like, "Hey, here's some boundaries we need to follow." And then eventually just the boundaries didn't end up getting followed, and we ended up having to ban the person. But like, it's one of those that was 90% of the time they were great, and 10% of the time absolutely not okay. And it sucks when you're like, "Hey, this is a person that was in the community, and people knew them, and then suddenly they're just not going to be here anymore," right? And because we say you're not helping when you come in like that, so we had to turn around, and we've had to ban people a couple times for things like that.
Yep, and it's something that's like hyper extreme too. Like there's one side of it where it's like, okay, you're just like, not being a great person or not saying the right things, but then there's like extra baggage or extra weight attached to it, where if you do ban them, you're not sure what's going to happen after. You're not sure if like, what their status is going to be, what will happen to your stream, things like that. So sometimes you get stuck in a position where banning someone is necessary, but the unknown of what will happen after makes it scary, makes it a scary choice. But yeah, as far as a mod, I don't think I've made any like horrible or hard decisions, but I've obviously, as a streamer, I've run into that many times where I had to discuss with my mods like, "Hey, what do we do about this person?" And that's tough.
It's always going to be difficult when it's like a long-term viewer that's suddenly changed as well, kind of thing can happen. And it's not even sometimes that, sometimes there's drama that goes on between friends and friends that just kind of blows up in all over the place, and you're like, well, what's going on here?
Right.
It's not really got anything to do with me as such, but everyone's saying, "Hey, you should go to this person, or you should go to this person."
It's horrible.
Or the somebody they eventually felt comfortable enough to kind of expose the extra things, right? That like, yeah, they were great for a while, and then they're like, "Oh, now you can be my trauma dump," or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not you're passing the boundaries that are of what's okay.
Yeah. I had a situation where there was a lot of things going on. Like, it wasn't affecting me per se, but then it was affecting that person. This has happened so many times in the last 4 years of me streaming. It happens so many times.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think which story I tell. There's about 5 different ones, and it's the same thing. Essentially what it is like one person stopped talking to the other person, and then you're just like, okay, and you're friends with both of them, so what do you do?
Mhm. Right. How do you pick?
Yeah, and so
who
I
you talk to?
chose just to, exist and
Mhm.
to not put. I didn't go out my way for either person. I just decided I will sit here in the middle, and then but then they both sort of like aggressively didn't want me talking to the other person. So that's what was making it difficult. So then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to sit back. Let's see how this play out. And guess what? They became the best of friends again. And now they're like, oh, but imagine I had picked sides.
Mhm.
Imagine I had picked sides in that, because in my mind, I was like, this is not like, to them, what was happening was such a big deal. But as an outsider, I knew it wasn't such a big deal. But like, it is a big deal to them, obviously. But as an outsider, I feel like this is something I feel like you could resolve. But I don't know. I'm just going to sit back for this and see what happens. And I'm not going to pick sides. I know you both want me to aggressively pick sides, and I'm not going to do that, because I'm not that. Because I think you both just had a bit of a disagreement, which happens in friendships. And I feel like I'm in a situation where if I'm really, really close to somebody and I had such a disagreement with them, I'll try and make it work. I'll try and be like, this is how you're feeling, this is how I'm feeling, and then we'll try and get through it. But obviously some people don't have that in them to do that. And so then they go apart. But then it's funny, which is like a few months later, they're back together again. So then it's like, and then I think to myself, thank God I didn't deal with that. One of the other things is when you're a mod for both of those people as well, is really hard. And then, there's so much drama that happens on Twitch that I just try and stay away from. I've had situations where, I had somebody who was sort of almost like thrown out of a community, right? They was thrown out of a community. They found a home in mine. And in the sense that they felt comfortable in mine. And I was like, I didn't know what was happening and that they were thrown out of the other community. And I'm just being me. And I'm just like talking to them as normal. And then they said that I helped them through that time. And then they banded back together with that community and decided to hate on me for no reason. And then I realized...
God.
What
the heck?
I know. And there was so much like drama. And then I was like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm not bothered.
You gotta just move on.
Oh, I was just like, you know what? Forget it. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
I know. And I was just like, I guess I realized that some people just use you for moments, and I feel like I'm going off topic. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going so off topic. I'm going to stop with the worst situations. You guys what I was saying was...
Finish up your thought.
Yeah, okay. So what I was saying was I feel like with streamers, like, I feel this in my soul, somebody just wrote. I'm like, yes, like, honestly, like, I feel like people will come into your community and look, I'm a streamer. I will ask you questions about your life and stuff like that. If you want to share, you share. If you don't want to share, you don't share. But I'm not going to get directly involved in your life. That's all I'm going to say. And, that's it. That's probably what I'll say. Yeah.
Okay, so talking about like the ugliest kind of moments, I think there's been a handful in like here that I can think of like just like weird dudes that come in to chat, and I can think of one in particular that had been around for a while, and was also an Australian guy. I'm not sure if you wanted to talk about this at all, okay, but he was just really demanding of like your attention and wanting to know where you are and all this kind of weird, like creepy stuff. This was a while ago now.
So okay, I remember that. Yes,
I know of this tale.
And actually, he followed me on Instagram with his real name like recently.
Yikes.
I think. Yeah,
okay.
And then but anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, keep going.
There's some
no. I wasn't sure if you wanted to keep talking about it or not, but that was like one of the moments where I thought, oh well, this is quite a serious thing that's going on, that is not good thing that's happening, that you have to be aware that this person might keep trying to show up in other forms to keep trying to harass streamer.
Women exist on the internet and they're allowed to, and they shouldn't get stalked just because they exist on the internet.
And that's a good point. I mean, being a mod for a female streamer versus a male streamer, I mean,
It's a
you get
different experience. It's a
completely different experience.
Yeah.
Like they are constantly berated with like creepy messages and guys just like saying things. And I mean, girls too, like whoever out there. And yeah, I mean, as a male streamer, I don't get that as often or at all that I remember in my past 4 years. Like people saying just creepy things towards me. I've had people say weird things. But yeah, so being a mod for a female streamer, I think you are there's definitely like a higher level of focus you need to make sure they're safe because you know,
and you got to draw the line. You got to draw that line much stricter too.
Yeah.
Like, if the streamer is okay with some of those things, sure, let it fly. But like otherwise, you got to draw a really hard line really fast and you know, be paying attention to it.
You know, yeah, so that got really difficult with us because for example, and I know this has happened to many other female streamers as well, but I stupidly made a mistake to say that I'm going into the city, and then this person had said in my chat that they're going to go into the city and look for me. And I had to go into this
a big no.
and I had to go to the city that day. But obviously the city is massive, so what are the chances that they're going to actually see me? But I made sure to tell my friends that I was going with, and I was like on edge the whole time. I could not.
Plus, I mean, they know what you look like. Did you know what they look like?
No, I didn't know at all.
That's the worst.
Stranger on the internet, right? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But I knew like they're because we talked about heights and stuff. I don't know why we do that. We talk about height, but thankfully we talked about height. So I knew he was a really tall guy. But that's all I knew. So any tall guy I would see, I'd be like, ah!
You're like, oh, running. Yeah, there was a story recently of this VTuber who went to this concert, and there was this guy who was just like stalking her and saying like, oh, I'm going to go to the concert. And he didn't know what she looked like because, you know, she was a VTuber, so she didn't know. But he recognized her voice and found her at the concert. He didn't do anything, of course, because she was with a bunch of friends because he was creeping her out. But like, I mean, anybody out there on the internet, even if you think you're protected with like, and nobody sees your face, they can recognize your voice, your mannerisms. Like, people get pretty nuts out there. So it's good to be safe and comfortable, especially in your own space. And that's what the mods are for. They keep you safe.
Yeah. Well,
Kay constantly brings it up as well, you know, like, oh, Pete tells me not to do this, you know? which is not exactly true, but definitely there's been times where I'm like, hey, don't do this thing. Because, you know, you want to be safe for you as well. Right.
To be honest,
I want to be like
interested. To dox himself like 3 times.
I've done it so many times. I mean, people, if someone wants to murder me, there's a good chance he can find me now.
You just like, hey, somebody sent me this package. Let me hold it up right in front of the screen with my name and address on it. Like,
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm good. But there are things where I accidentally show like my address and I'm like, oops, my bad, or my full name.
Oh my gosh.
You have gotten much better at it, Tim.
Much better.
That, but like when you started, I was like, "Oh God, Tim, you did it again."
I did it again.
I did, like, I was really silly because like obviously I'm doing my study streaming and then I'm literally telling you my college that I'm literally going on, so I had to like undo that mod because like you can literally find, if when I'm at that place you'll know where it is, so you'll find that college and you'll look it up because it's so unique to Melbourne and stuff. So I'm like, oh shit, you'll find me. So I had to unmod it. Yeah. So what did we say? I don't know where I was going to say something about you guys. I've been in the
same situation of doxing myself as well.
Oh yeah.
But also, you know, early on, a lot of the people who were in stream were people like I knew, were friends and things like that. And there was definitely Kay was there for this. One of my friends was like, "Hey, I'm coming into town, like very specific town where I live."
His town is it's
it's
so small, and his town is so small. You would literally find his house.
Yeah, sometimes you have like friends from real life come into your stream, you know, from your IRL life, and they'll be like, "Hey, you're gonna be here tomorrow, right? I'll meet you there." It's like, shut up, that's not where I am.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, I'm meeting you at mom and pop pizza shop that literally only exists. And by the way, you can
It's-
Google their website name, and it says, "Hey, look, I live in Washington D.C. at this address." Right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And here's your social security number. I know
Yeah.
you need it, so let me type that out for you.
So yeah, I purposely try not to say that these are my in real life friends, but sometimes they will say something so specific, and I'm like, I swear to God, a few moments away of saying my name. I swear, I swear. Like sometimes they even say to me, like sometimes I meet up with a friend, and then she's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna do a reaction for your Twitch people. Like this is why I sent you this," or "Oh, how come you didn't do this to your reaction?" Or like, and then they just start to like, "Oh, I'll come into your chat," and I'm like, don't do that. Like, don't come into my chat and ask about certain things. Just like, it just, yeah, it's just funny. Like you just, it's hard to separate them. That's why actually a lot of my people friends don't come onto my Twitch channels. I actually don't tell some of them either, so that stops that. Just moving
But
on.
hey, mods.
Yeah. Yes.
Mods, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what I was going to say? Sorry, this is what I remembered. I was going to say that mods are here to help with chat, but also to moderate the streamer.
Yes. Keep us in check.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to. Have you ever dealt with mod burnout? What do you do to take care of yourself and prevent it?
That's interesting. I haven't even considered mod burnout a thing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Guy that only streams.
Yeah. There's been times that I would say I have stepped back a little bit and just basically not been as involved. And I wouldn't I don't know if you'd call it like burnout or other stuff, but like life gets busier or you can't contribute in the ways that you've been contributing. And you just kind of like let them know, basically like, hey, I can't be around as much right now, whatever reason. And yeah, I've done it a handful of times where I just like I've stepped back and I'm not going to be around as often. Like I'll still be around every now and again. I'll check in and things, but like there's been times I've kind of stepped back and taken a break because things have gotten super busy for whatever reason.
Yeah, and that's always my expectations with a mod. Like, don't force yourself to come to my stream. Like, be here because you want to be here, and if you can help, cool. And that's in my mentality, at least. That's why I have a good handful of mods of like people who are regulars there, because you never know who's going to be there, and especially because like my stream schedule can kind of fluctuate. There, like I'll usually start around the same time, but sometimes a little earlier, a little later, and then some days I'm streaming, some days I'm not. So like I don't hit a high expectation with my mods because I am also unpredictable. So I guess that's where that mindset comes in, where like I don't expect mod burnout because I also don't expect like the world from my mods, but they will sometimes give me the world. They kill it. So that's great when you have a good team of mods who are really dedicated to the cause.
I've never been burnt out from modding over time. I can definitely push myself too far when earlier on when I was like getting into Twitch, 7 or 8 different streams open all at once trying to mod for
that's
each of them.
crazy.
Yeah. So that was quickly learned not to do that.
Yeah, I might miss some stuff in between it all.
But yeah, so other than that, not really burnt out from it. I can definitely see people that would be burnt out from it. People mod for a bunch of people. So, if you're going from like modding this stream to modding this stream, and it can be particularly intense sometimes, sometimes it's just pretty easy, just like hanging out with your friend or whatever. Just chatting. But other times you got to ban 35 people, you've had that one long time chatter that's just turned really weird suddenly. You've had to also be worried about, maybe you're also not having a good time outside of, the computer. You never find me outside of the computer.
You just live in the computer.
I am here.
I do know of someone who had really bad mod burnout, and I'm sure they won't mind me mentioning their story, but I think it was mainly because they ended up moderating for half of Twitch, and Pete knows who I'm talking about. Do you know who I'm talking about, Pete? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so they ended up, this is the issue, is I would give you some advice, people, is that to not experience mod burnout is don't moderate for so many people that you just can't mod. Like it's impossible for you to mod, as people saying, like you had 7 different streams on at the same time, and it was just hard. And that's why they experienced mod burnout so much so, because obviously there were some streamers that they were modding for who were doing like 12-hour streaming, and then they wanted to be there for the whole 12 hours for that one. And then the next minute when that person finished streaming, somebody else started streaming that they mod for, and then it turned out they were moderating for about 3 days straight.
Jeez, too much.
And it was just, and you're just like, I mean, and then at one point I just went, well, that's just being silly, isn't it?
That's not realistic. Plus, I imagine if you're modding for a big streamer and they have like thousands of chats, like I don't even know how mods deal with that.
Yeah.
That I could see some serious burnout from.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you going to say, Barry? I feel like you were going to say something.
No. I mean, like in general, it's kind of just have the limitations. Like take care of yourself, right? Like it is a job, but you're volunteering for something, right? Don't put the high level of expectation on it.
Yeah.
And take care of yourself.
That's it. It's the expectation.
Obviously, if you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to take care of the streamer either.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your streamer. That's amazing. Take that away, guys. All right. So last question. Do you think Twitch gives mods enough tools or support, or is there something missing? Sorry. And that can't, if you're also a mod for like YouTubers, if you wanted to drop comments below as well, feel free. But yeah, so do you think Twitch gives enough tools or support?
It's infinitely better than it used to be.
Yes.
How I'll put it. Like it used to be the Wild West kind of thing where you're like, I have the option to delete a message, time out a person, or ban them, and that's it. And there's no other choices. There's no other like. And the wildest one to me that like when I started modding, the craziest thought was that you could ban somebody and they could still sit there and watch chat or watch the streamer.
And that was there for a while. That wasn't until recently.
That was only like 2023 that they got rid of it or something like that, right? Like all through COVID, somebody could come in and, you know, like be the worst, creepiest stalker kind of person. And you'd go, okay, I'm going to ban them. And they get to sit there and still watch stream. Like, yeah, they can't participate in chat, right? Like, so I don't know. I'll let others talk about the current state if they think they have major concerns now, but I think we're in a much better spot than we used to be.
Definitely. It's been so much better. There's so much tools out there. It's never been easier for a streamer to be a mod themselves as well, you know. So
right.
When I first started, it was like you're saying, you know, there's none of these tools out there. Ban, timeout, delete a message, you know, that's the only thing you had at your disposal. Now, you know, you've got your Twitch level moderation as well, so you can set that however you want as a streamer. You know, and you got
shield mode, right?
Shield mode.
Something comes up.
People have to verify their accounts if they can be in your chat, like with the email and phone numbers, which is so nice.
All these things came way too late, but they're there now.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, it's easier for you yourself to see if someone, you know, they have all the things to say, hey, this person's likely ban evading, or, you know, you can put all that kind of stuff on now. And of course, you know, Seribot's out there. Seribot's great. That's like the one thing I would say to people, get Seribot. Seribot will do a lot of that kind of setup. The lower level stuff that is probably the most worrisome to probably smaller streamers, you know, like the bot that comes in and tells you, I'm going to sell you stuff. It never catches the people trying to sell you art though, but
no, they sneak by. I do want to bring up, Pixie said this earlier about if a mod will message someone and tell them like separately outside of chat, like, hey, you're breaking the rules. This is your warning. And like, so that's not necessarily a tool or anything, but it's just a cool trick a mod could do is like separately let that person know that they might get banned if they continue that. And it was just something I thought I'd bring back up here.
The warning tool that they implemented as well.
Yeah, now they have a warning tool.
Yeah, this is what I was going to say. I mean, I think there's so many questionable things about Twitch where I wish they treated like affiliates better, for example. But is affiliates a thing now? I'm pretty sure it's not even a thing anymore soon.
They exist, but it's the same level of like payment.
Yeah.
Like anybody can get paid for subs and stuff now.
Yeah, but I don't know if affiliates are still a thing. Like, do you still count yourself as an affiliate?
Yeah, they still exist. I don't know if there's a benefit over just being a non-affiliate, but
but tools definitely have gotten better. Like, I feel like there are times that, again, it's the whole expectation. Like, I don't expect me to have a mod all the time. So turning
Mhm.
on those extra functions on my chat, which is like now that they've added the warning is very new. That was like what, a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago. I don't think that
Yeah, the
warning was
warning's
there.
pretty recent.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
very new.
recent.
So, but having those extra icons next to it, and the other thing as well, when Barry was saying that you can't always have mod view, so not having the mod
Mhm.
view, but having those just there, that's pretty good because
Yeah.
you know, just having like I can see it now. You've got the warning, you got the timeout, you've got the ban, and then you've got the bin, which is like delete the comment. So, that's it. Just having those ready and accessible where you can just go, you know what, I'm gonna just press this button now. Like it's good.
Mhm.
So not having a mod, having those tools there is great. Sorry, I just have a lot of questions in chat. We will acknowledge that, which is what's happening with affiliates. Do you want to just explain collection a little bit? Or?
Yeah, we can give it a quick run through. It's nothing. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but essentially, what they've done is before, when you became an affiliate, that allowed you to get subs and bits and all kinds of like financial incentives for as part of your streaming career. But now, essentially, affiliates are everybody. Everybody is like affiliate level, meaning that they can get subs, bits, and all that things. That you would get as an affiliate, but now it's just a normal streamer. It's just an average streamer. So you don't have to hit the 3 average viewers. You don't have to hit those goals to start getting money. So I don't know what that entails for affiliates. If we get like a little bit more of a percentage cut, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is other than basically at a base level, you're now an affiliate, just in everything but name.
Yeah.
So unless so right now I don't know if they have said if there's going to be any difference, but there is a difference still between affiliate and partner, because partner still gets a higher percentage. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
As a mod, can you invisibly flag someone to keep an eye on them?
Yes.
ABC.
Yes, you can. That was a tool they added at least a little bit ago. It's not brand new, but there
Mhm.
is the ability to basically flag a suspicious user. It's a very nice tool to have if you've got somebody that like you're keeping an eye on off and on. I haven't had to use it often, but every now and again you're just like, this feels vaguely questionable, and I don't know if like maybe I won't be there later, but I want to flag them for when they come back, or
Mhm.
something like that. I've used it a couple of times.
For me,
Uh.
the flagging is I think we just put it in our mod chat.
Yeah,
This
it's usually
person.
where it ends
Oh,
up.
yeah.
It's like
It's the
keep
same
your
idea,
eyes.
but like you know how like when somebody raids, you'll get a little box around them that's like raider from so and so. Instead of
Mhm.
saying raider from so and so, it'll be like flag suspicious user. I don't remember exactly what the words say, but it's like the
Okay.
same thing where every message it will literally highlight around them so it sticks out in chat,
Yeah.
basically.
See, I learned something new today.
Learn something new. So
I
I
did.
got one more question before
Sure.
we wrap up here. Do you guys think that mods should get some sort of like financial benefit or some kind of like bonus for being a mod for a channel? Like, do you think that Twitch will ever do something like that? Like give you guys, I don't know, special badges or again, financially incentivize people to do that? You think that'll ever be in the future, or you think it's just all
I
going to
don't
be...
think Twitch will.
No.
Twitch wouldn't
No,
do that.
yeah, you think it'll be on
No.
the streamer?
I think the
Well,
most
yeah.
Twitch ever did was give you a little emote.
If you're modding for someone who's like a big streamer, I think that the streamer should be giving you some kind of
For sure.
payout. And also Kay should be paying me, of course.
That's always the hope. If you're a mod for a streamer and they get really big, you're like, oh, maybe I will get some money for helping them out. That's always my plan.
Yeah, that has always been the thing that I've said
my
is that,
mods, I should say.
like if I ever make it where I'm earning enough to survive, paying off some of my bills, things like that, and then then I will put some money aside collectively for my moderators. And there are actually streamers that do that, where they have like a separate account where you can tip your mods and things like that as well if you wanted to. But that's because they separate their money and things because they're earning enough that they can do things like that. I did a year where I had a really good year, and so I offered my mods to pay for a game that they wanted at the end of the year. So with the money that I had earned that year, I offered to pay for a game or something that they wanted, so I paid for it.
Still waiting.
Shut up. That was like years
He
ago.
never got the game.
That was so long
it's one of those,
ago.
like,
Yeah.
it's nice to have something like that in return.
Mhm.
But like,
Mhm.
I don't think as a mod you should ever have the expectation
No.
you're getting
Right.
anything, right?
No.
You're doing
Right,
it
right.
because you want to support the streamer and
Yes.
do more than just being a viewer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I'm a viewer in a lot of channels that I'm not a mod for.
Yeah.
Right, off and on, but I want to mod for people to help them because I like them and I like what
Yeah.
their channel does and the entertainment they give.
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
kind of like, hey, maybe I can't sub, right? But maybe I can do this instead. Maybe I
Yeah.
can do
Right.
something to help.
I have a section on my Twitch profile where it says free ways to help me, where I wrote like a bunch of free things that you guys can do to help me. So that's, just something that you could do as well. But I'm not
Right.
saying to go look at it. I'm just saying that you could,
Yeah,
if you
go check
wanted
it
to,
out right now.
if you wanted
Go look.
to do that for other streamers, absolutely go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's that time. It's that time where I ask specific questions to each of our hosts. So
We're doomed.
Okay.
We're doomed. Good luck, guys.
So
I think my internet is dying.
Oh no!
apparently they crashed, guys. They've all crashed.
I moved too much.
I genuinely just felt like Pete, that was really good. You literally
Pete
didn't
did
move
really
for
good.
ages. You
I'm
did
like
so
this,
well.
like,
You did so well. So if you could,
I did the best though. I do want to say.
yeah, Barry's was the best. I could not tell.
Yeah.
I thought Barry's internet just completely died.
Yeah, I thought he was gone.
It's still gone. Yep, it's still gone.
Yeah. So like I allow for people that come on the podcast to sort of have an idea of the questions that I'm going to ask. But these questions I haven't told them about. So, okay, here we go. So we're going to start off with Pete.
Oh no.
So don't worry, guys. This is all like really not really that serious, but it's not really serious. But if you could go back in time and answer yes or no for when UK asked to be a mod for her, would you answer differently, and why? If yes or no?
Yes, I would answer differently. I think that at that particular time, while I was talking to you and communicating with what the expectations were, I don't think I was necessarily a great mod at that particular time. So I don't think I should have said yes specifically. But what else would I have done? I think definitely over that period of time, you took a year off. Taking that year off really helped me become a better mod.
You had a lot of time to learn, a lot of time off.
But
Self-improvement. You did a lot of training in the off season,
Yep.
Yeah.
But aside from obviously like UK, I'm talking in third person now. That's weird. I've never done that before. But seriously though, if other people, like you've been asked to be a mod for a lot of other people, would you answer differently as well?
I mean, some people don't ask. I think there's definitely people that I wouldn't say I have any regret about modding for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, you fall out of friendships. People stop streaming. All these things kind of happen over that period of time. But I wouldn't say I ever have regretted being a mod for someone. There's definitely times where I've just like been a mod for a few weeks or been a mod for a day kind of situation.
Yeah.
As well, I wouldn't necessarily want to be a mod for some of those people long term, but you fill in your job. You learn from those experiences to grow and become better at the things that you do.
I think we've all had that. Like I've experienced that as well, which is just being a mod for somebody for a day or a week or something. I'm happy to do that as well because I'm not always there all the time, so it makes no sense to do that.
I'm aware.
You can unmod me. Feel free to. I'm about to go into this chat right now and unmod myself. Okay, you know what? This is interesting. This comes into my second question for you, Pete, which is: would you consider just modding another person? If yes, why? If no, why?
Look, I think that where I'm at, if you're talking for me as like a streamer,
yes, absolutely.
Where I'm at now, I don't.
Hang on. I was told to mention that Pete's a streamer, so he's a streamer, and that's why I'm asking this question.
Yeah, by the way, I am a streamer, twitch.tv/pretentious, PETNTIUS. We do knitting, we do drawing, we play Fields of Mystria, we play Power Wash Sim. We have a great time. I would love to see you there. That's again, twitch.tv/pretentious, PETNTIUS.
Can somebody block this? Warn them.
What was it? One more time? One more time. Say
What-
that again.
Okay,
Block
okay,
them.
if you're being a good mod right now, this is when you would do !SO and put @pretentious in your
wait.
chat so that
I'm a mod.
you
I
could-
can do it.
Oh, Tim can do this.
Yeah, I'm modded, guys. I'm
Oh, God.
modded.
But
you know,
Yeah.
the serious answer is, you know, we're
Yes.
just talking about how easy it is
yes.
to be a mod and a streamer at the same time these days.
Okay.
You know, well, I love to have Kay there. You know, Kay is obviously a very busy person with lots of things going on in her life. You know, a mother, a job, a
17
beautiful
kids.
husband. So, you know, it's difficult for, you know, her to be at any stream, but we always love to see her there. And she definitely shows up for, you know, the bigger streams that I do end up having. You know, if I'm celebrating something, you know, I just celebrated 4 years of streaming a little while ago, and, you know, she made a point to be there. I appreciate that. And, you know, she's also, you know, she feels those other goals that a mod will do. You know, I'll be like, hey, Kay, here's the thing I'm looking to do. Do you think this is a good idea? Or here's 10 patterns, Pete, for you don't even crochet, but here's 10 crochet patterns. Maybe you could do that. Oh, you can't crochet? Here's this really obscure way of converting a crochet pattern into a knitting pattern. Pete, maybe you could just do that. Maybe you could learn.
I'm
to do
great
that,
with
Pete.
ideas. Guys, if you
This
have
feels like
if
an
you need
oddly specific
ideas,
conversation that definitely
Yeah,
occurred, Pete.
It turned in a way that I wasn't expecting, but I'm here for it.
but
I'm
if
here
you
to witness.
But listen, if you're listening to this and you know you need some ideas for your stream or you want to give ideas to your streamer because you're a moderator or what a viewer, hit me up. I have tons. I am happy to share. There ain't no gatekeeping here. I will share. You tell me what you need and I will share away. Maybe too much, but I will.
But yeah, no, I don't need another mod.
Okay.
You know, I've got Kay, I've got Sabat, I've got my younger brother as still my mod, I think.
I don't think he's a
but-
mod.
Well, he's in the mod chat, so I hope
Okay.
he's still a mod.
Okay, well, there we go.
I'll ask him on the weekend.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, it's also, you know, about the support that Kay gives. Kay is a wonderful, supportive person and friend. We've known each other for a long time now. Some might say too long. That's me to say that.
Oh, ouch.
But, you know, I always am very appreciative of her and the support she gives and the things she does as a mod. You know, she's great.
Thanks. So he's saying he doesn't need another mod. This is my way of saying Pete get another mod, but he obviously didn't get it, but that's okay.
Well,
We'll move
I
on.
did
You were
get it.
trying.
I did get it. You know, sometimes you have to play it straight.
Yeah.
Far be it from me, a straight guy, to play it straight.
But don't. All right, going on to collection. Is it true, right, that you said
Yeah.
that you would mod UK and then didn't?
Is it true that I would? No, I just modded. So
He
that's,
did.
that's
He
false.
actually did. He
I'm
did
joking.
one
It's false.
action that I have seen with my own eyes. So
Did he
has done at
actually?
least some. Yes, he did.
Oh,
Yeah, he
wow,
did a shout
okay.
out for Pete in your chat.
I said at the beginning, I'm like a Watchman type of mod where I'm sitting in the distance. I'm keeping my eyes on everything. Everybody's got it under control, so I don't need to do anything. But I'll step in when I have to. Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
But
Good
for your
mod right there.
for your real question,
Yes.
I have a question for you. This question for you because you're both a really good streamer and a really good mod as well. So
Oh yeah. One of those is true.
one of those, we don't know which one. How
No.
do you want someone to tell you that they want to unmod you? Actually, I wanted to tell this question to everybody, but I'm just throwing it to collection.
Okay.
Go for it.
So one more time, someone. How do I? What?
So before I didn't want to answer the question, which is like, how do we unmod somebody? Like, I didn't want to give those tips directly. I wanted, if you have that question, you want to know, as I said, DM me privately. But how do you think you as a person would want someone to tell you that they want to unmod you?
So someone is telling me they want to unmod me.
Yes, it's not me, by
And
the
how-
way.
Gotcha. And you want to know how I would like them to approach me about
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
Absolutely whatever you say, Tim, you were absolutely getting in just a couple minutes from Kay. Don't worry about it.
right, whatever. And she's like, how shall I fire you? Let me know. I would say it's just straight up honest. Just be like, hey, I don't need you, or I can't imagine I'd get fired for being a bad mod. But I very well could be. I think, yeah, lack of being in stream. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if there's a reason, I'd like to know, but I also know how I am as a mod, and I'm very much like hey, I can mod when I'm there, but I mean, I can't promise I'll be there for a stream in the next 4 months. Who knows when I'll show up again? So that I probably don't need a reason because I know why. But yeah, just straight up honesty. Just be like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, this is the reason why. I don't need you for this reason. Or just straight up say, hey, I don't need you as a mod anymore. Bye. I'm like, all right, see ya.
Yeah.
Like, no hard feelings to me. I love being a mod. I love helping and all that stuff. I just also know like my limitations, like how busy I am and how full my time is. So it's not. I don't take offense at all. And UK, I wanted to point out there's a fallen Pikachu behind you, and I don't know if you know or not. It's dead on the ground.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. It's fine. It's
At a big 9.
It's the one that so Pete failed to catch this one, but he caught your Pikachu earlier. But he failed to catch this one, so he fell.
I see. So that one ran away but died.
Yeah.
He did one too many attacks and it fainted instead. You know,
yeah. Sorry, Pikachu.
So you've got a weaker Pikachu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta level it up more.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's his fault. I wanted to level him up to Raichu, and he refused.
Victim shame Pikachu.
So listen, this Pikachu didn't want to level up to a Raichu. What do you want me to do to it? What do you want me to do?
You can still level it up. It doesn't have to evolve.
Yeah, wow.
Well, he just didn't want to evolve. So what should I have done? Like, this is what happens when you don't want to evolve, okay?
He'll still take XP.
It takes forever. I remember when I was playing Pokemon and then I was forced to have a Pikachu and I was like, no. I love Pikachu, by the way, for the record, but as a main Pokemon, it's hard.
Can we get like a slow pan onto the Pikachu behind her as she says she loves the Pikachu?
As it's dead.
The zoom in view
Oh
of the face
god. Oh gosh. So onto interestingly, I do want to point something out that we haven't talked about, which is I did unmod somebody in the past and they got really upset to the point where they were really rude to me and then they never wanted to come back onto my stream again. So, and I was like, okay,
ban them, it's okay.
What do you?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, how would you guys react to to Barry? I guess because you don't stream, like, what do you think about somebody who reacts that way, but also with Pete in collection, like how would you react to that? Like somebody literally just being awful to you then, and then just...
I'm at the point of like, the level of patience and things that like there's a decorum that you need to have, right? And maybe you get a slightly higher level of forgiveness because you're a known friend or something like that, right? But like, if you break the rules, the results will apply, right? In a perfect world, the same rules apply to everybody. So if you break those rules of the social expectations of being in the community, great. You could get in trouble too.
Yeah.
And if you break the rules hard enough, you're gone,
right?
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Mods aren't exempt from your rules.
That's actually such a valid thing to say, and I want streamers that stream to listen to that, and moderators that are moderating to listen to that. Mods are not exempt to the rule, and I think that's such a good takeaway here. Okay,
even the streamer, follow your own rules.
That's a hard one. Yeah, that's true.
It might be a little tough. But.
Yeah,
it'll descend into chaos more than like the direct problems, right? The mods breaking the rules, it's much easier in direct action. But like if the streamer's not following your own rules, it basically makes it hard for the mods and the other people in chat to understand.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Collection. This is. Feel free to not answer this question. Do you feel like you have too many mods, and how many mods do you actually have?
I don't feel like there's too many mods. I think if I could, I would make everybody a mod. I think I'm not afraid, because I think having more people to defend your stream is good if need be. There does come a point where maybe like depending on how all the people you mod, if they are I guess you don't know every single person you mod. If you like to know all these people super deep that you do other mods would take a lot of time. I don't think there's too many mods. I think I currently have 8, 9 mod.
Whoa. Yeah.
There's some that I forget are mods.
Want to make it
There's
10?
some.
Want to make
We could. Here we go, Pete. Here we go. You're invited. You are now modded. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it depends on the streamer. I'm also, again, very casual about my mods, so I think having more is good because I don't give the pressure like you have to be at my stream. But at least if one mod's there, I feel great. I feel good. So having more mods results in a higher percentage of someone being there. In case I need it. But a lot of the times I'm still doing mod things myself anyway, so it doesn't necessarily like have a big impact. But yeah, I think I have 8 or 9 at this point.
In the background, I would tell Tim to not mod everybody that shows up.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I shouldn't, and I don't. I mod people I trust, and again, like regulars. But again, they're like the trust. I built it up, so everybody I've modded right now has earned it. It is a thoughtful process. I don't just like mod. I'll VIP a lot of people, but that's different. There's not really much of a difference, but there's differences.
It's funny because it's like what some of the difficult situations you've had with your streamer. One of the barriers just said collection modding. I told you to stop modding people.
Oh, I absolutely will send Tim a message and he'll see it after stream and be like, Tim, don't do that.
Don't do that. Whatever you said, don't do it. Do the opposite.
So going to one of the barriers, I also had something prepared for each of you, like a blurb, and I forgot to push them all out, but we'll do it straight after this. So I have done some sleuthing for you and found somewhere on the internet that said, and I quote, "I made a promise to stream at least once if I got 50 followers." Did you do that? Because you were saying that you did, but then I went on to your Twitch account and it doesn't say that at all. It says you've never been live.
Never.
I have. I did.
He has. I've been there for it
3 times. And the best part is, and you can play the game actually, Tim or Pete, or if you want to in UK's chat, if you want to shout me out, I would be curious to see, or does her shout out say what game you're playing? No,
Yes.
it doesn't. Okay.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Okay. Do a shout. I want to see what game
Yes,
it says.
let's
if
do
it.
it.
Still remembers the game I was playing.
Fortnite.
It was.
Oh, God, Fortnite.
The last game I played the first
there you
game I
go.
played
Yeah.
was the fish game. What was the name
I
of that,
am
Tim?
fish.
I Am Fish.
Okay.
I played I Am Fish because I hit 50 followers and I said I would.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple random follow-up times where I went ahead and did a short stream of somebody else was finishing and I was like, they were like, "Hey, do you want to go live?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" And just like hanging out with friends basically. For between an hour and 2 hours. And I did that a couple of times, and then I was like, cool, it's really no different than me just actually hanging out with the friends, and I didn't really see any value to it. For me to continue, it wasn't what I wanted to do, right? I've never been like, yes, I want to be a streamer.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hang out with the friends and play games.
Because you could easily jump in Discord and just go live the same thing there. Like
correct. Yeah. If I want to hang out or show my screen or whatever.
Place.
And I am, as obvious by what those watching can see, I am a more private person with the personal life stuff. So
Wait, what? You're telling me you don't look like that's not the real you in your
actually,
picture?
that basically is. So in that picture,
it's pretty close, honestly.
Ash had never seen me. Like we've had video chats and other stuff. She had never seen me. Just basically listened to me, and like we'd had discussion. She knew I had like a beard, for example. But like then she drew me and just like sent me that picture that is still my picture that's on the stream. And I was like, nope, actually, that's really not that far off. That's relatively accurate to what I look like.
I have met Barry in person and can confirm that it's pretty close.
For
someone who hasn't seen him before.
Yeah. For those of you that can't see, Barry has chosen not to be on video today. He has a PNG tuber on at the moment. So that's what we're discussing at the moment, is that he's not on camera. He's just a PNG tuber, just in case you're like, what are you guys talking about? But that's what we're talking about. Yes. So I guess, Barry, then, seeing as we're talking about mods, if you were to stream again, then, like, let's say you are streaming properly, who would you mod? No pressure.
Who would I make a mod in my channel?
Of the three of us, who would you make mod?
Pete, first choice.
What?
What? You made the best decision you could make of your life.
I got did dirty, but you know what? I would also pick Pete first.
Right? So you know what? Yeah.
Out of us three, I would pick because I mean he would probably be there, I would be there
Yeah.
for a Barry stream. I'd make time. I'd end my stream early. I'd do what I had to do.
Tim, I think, was one of the people that rated into me when I streamed at least once. Of the
I might be a mod. I might
You
actually
might
be a
be.
mod.
I honestly don't
Well,
remember. I think I have I only have 2 or 3 mod slots because like I streamed 3 times or whatever, and they have a very limited number. Right, as you grow more followers, you get more slots or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that, but okay.
I made another friend a very long time ago before I even made the joke about streaming. I said if I ever streamed, I would make them my first mod. Somebody else who's like a perennial mod on Twitch that I'm friends with off and on. And I made them a mod even before I just out of giggles. I made them a mod.
Right.
So they were my first mod. And then Tim might be a mod. I honestly don't remember who my mods are.
I don't either.
Beyond
But
that. Yeah. No, it's definitely Pete.
Wow.
It's Pete.
Well, there you go.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I'm not upset. Good
Yeah.
choice.
So on that note, I'm just going to forget this podcast ever existed now. Bye. No.
I would give you a very lovely shout out, Kay.
Oh wow!
Just gonna
Thanks.
say it.
Wow, thanks.
Yep,
Wow, that's so nice of you. I'm gonna have
I'd
to
only
wait.
give you a shout out if Barry told me to give you a shout out.
Wow. Okay.
that's the
There you go.
Best mod right there.
Oh wow.
I do it because I could.
So all right, so looking ahead, the future of moderation and advice, I want to know what advice each of you would give to a new moderator or to new moderators or streamers trying to find good moderators for their community. If you guys have to think about this, let me know because I can go first. But whoever wants to go first, go for it.
I got this. So we talked about this in the second episode. So maybe go back and watch that if you haven't already. But we talked about, there was a question specifically asked about, someone's asked me to be a mod. And I don't know how to navigate that kind of situation. I think it's always about knowing the boundaries of the person who's going to be the streamer. I think have that conversation. That conversation is something you're going to need to have again and again and again, that type of conversation. So, this is pretty low stakes at all. So, if you can have a low stakes kind of, hey, what do you expect of me? Have that kind of conversation. I'd also say, like I was saying earlier in this episode and the previous episode, maybe go back and watch them. It's never been easier to mod for yourself on Twitch. And I think it's probably only going to get a little bit easier. As you grow, you might find yourself needing to have a mod. But if you're just starting out, you familiarize yourself with the tools and you're going to be better for that. Just have fun as well. That's one of the important things. You just do it.
Just do it. Okay.
Just do it.
And I will say the thing I'll add on top of that as like a new mod thing, one of the best things that you can do is when you have to take mod actions, right? Like there's a mod chat of some variety, right? Where you can have a chat where you go, hey, I banned this person and here's why. Or, hey, I did a timeout for this person and here's why. If it's not blatantly obvious, right? If the streamer didn't go, hey, can you time out that person? Okay, those are obvious, right? But if you saw something and you go, hey, I banned them, and maybe chat's busy, maybe things are happening, right? That creating that communication and that openness will help you get past all of the did I do the right thing or not, right? Because you'll likely get feedback that goes, oh, cool, thank you for doing that, right? Great. Then I know I followed the rules of what the streamer wanted. So having that kind of mod chat and the ability to, ask questions of should I done something? And then to the what you did activities, great. If you have to do something like that, put it in a mod chat. And that way it's very simple to understand what's happened and, get feedback on the activity that you've done.
That's some really good advice, you guys. If you take something away, I feel like what these guys have said is really good. Tim, Collection Revolution, Timantha.
Yes.
Timantha.
Oh, I got so much advice, so much good advice. Mod everybody, every stranger that comes to your stream, mod them immediately.
I'm gonna ban Tim.
Yeah. Also ban Barry just preemptively if he shows up in your stream. Save yourself the trouble. One of them. One of you just you had to get lucky. You got to get lucky. What else can you do? You can make sure they have full permission. They can change your stream title. They can end your stream. Give them all the permissions possible. Yeah, I think make sure you mod your friends, your mom. Make sure mod your family, your parents, your dog. They'll watch you. I hope that was good advice. That's all I got. So that's
Do you want to
what I
offer
got.
some
Some things
real
not to
advice?
do. Yeah,
Exactly.
That was what not to do, you guys. Barry
want
said it.
real advice?
What?
No, I would say if you're a streamer and you're looking to mod people, we've said it a bunch of times, set those boundaries. I think that was my mistake, is I never like set boundaries, as Barry stated. Like, he came to me and was like, okay, what do you want? Because I, gave humans the benefit of the doubt and thought a lot of people would be respectful on the internet. Of course, I knew better, but I also, like, it was my space I was creating. So I assumed that the people that were in there were people that would respect and be normal. And as I've learned over time, no, that doesn't happen as much as you would like it. So, if you're looking for mods, definitely find people that you vibe with, that you really trust, whether it be in your real, like, personal life or just people you've become really good friends with streaming. But yeah, figure out those boundaries. What do you like as part of your circle, your space? Because I think the rules you set in your stream also apply to your Discord, your social media pages. Like, you want that community to feel that way everywhere. So setting that is not only good for mods, so they know, but just in general, your community.
What they've said, I echo, like, everything. I'm going to give an advice that's, like, probably not as great as that, but I want to give, like, a basic advice. One thing that people don't realize is this is about building the relationship with the community. Emotes are your friends. Okay, so remember that typing is in monotone, because you remember, you're not the streamer, you're in the chat, so they can't hear you. So sometimes people can't tell that you are joking or sense the sarcasm. And just use the free emotes if you're not subscribed to your streamer, which is, like, appalling. How could you not be subbed to your own streamer? I'm joking. It's obviously a joke. You're not obliged. Absolutely not. But yeah, there's so many, like, free emotes, and some people will use better TT feed as well, which adds, like, extra free emotes for people. I know not everybody agrees with those, but yeah, so there are those options for those people as well. So, like,
that's what Twitch should do.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just clicked. They should make your mods subs. They give them free subs if they're a mod. So then they can use your emotes and everything.
There you go. What's the name of the guy who owns the Twitch? Is it Dan? What's his name? Dan Clancy? Jeff? No, Dan Clancy? Is that his name?
Oh, the CEO.
Yeah.
She's talking about the CEO.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Dan Clancy? I don't know. I feel like I made that up. Is that right? No.
You might be right, actually.
Anyway, dear Twitch people,
right now.
give automatic free subs to the moderators to our channel, and then also, like, the payment of that, also give that to
Dan Clancy.
Dan Clancy, there you go.
Great work.
Nice.
Nice. I don't know how I remembered that. I don't even know. I don't remember anything. Anyway, Dan Clancy, like, just give our moderators free subs, but then also can we have the affiliates?
Yeah, still give us the revenue.
Yes, listen to what I said. But yeah, I think just remembering that chat is monotone, and especially if it's somebody new. So, like, in my channel, for example, we're very, like, sarcastic, and I know some people aren't as sarcastic. So just remembering that the new person coming in hasn't gotten the vibe straight away. They don't know that you guys are messing around. So just remember, like, emotes are your friends. So yeah. I guess, do you guys have any, like, final thoughts? What's one thing you wish more people understood about the role if you haven't felt like you've covered it?
I think we got it.
I
think we nailed it.
I will give one other piece of advice.
Sure.
It kind of relates to something that was said earlier.
Yeah.
But I am of the opinion that mod actions outside of, like, the official warning thing or something like that shouldn't ever happen in a hidden one-to-one situation, right? If I'm doing official mod activities, I'm not going to whisper an individual user, right?
Okay.
So you think it's better to, like, do it in public channels?
Well, either it's a public thing, right, because they've done something, or the streamer can do it, right? And you bring it up in a mod chat and you go, hey, streamer, do you want to do this thing, right? Because it's not my space, right? It's the streamer's space. It's the streamer's community they've built, right? And so, yes, I can take the mod activities. I can ban people. I can do all these other things. But, like, I've seen it happen a handful of times where, somebody does something, they get a message deleted, they get timed out something, and then they just, like, as the mod, will just start arguing in whispers on Twitch, with the user, right? And it will end up to this whole big blow up thing, right? Or just the users will message the moderators and be like, "Oh, why so and so, blah blah blah," like angry about. It's, to me, it is never worth engaging on that one-to-one level with someone that you had to take moderator actions against.
I think that's a valid point. I have experienced where the moderator wasn't there. They no longer mod for me, but for a separate reason. But basically, they weren't in my chat, and then suddenly they came in, and then they timed someone out, not realizing that that person is trying to help me in the game, because I asked the question, but they weren't there. So then they just said, oh, but this was off topic to what you were saying. I said, yeah, but that was a prior conversation. And then you just timed them out for no reason. And then I had to apologize to that person. And then they got really like furious at that moderator. And then they didn't chat to that moderator for ages, which is fine. Obviously, that's their choice. But it was I wanted to quickly add to what you said. I think what you're saying is valid, Barry. But one thing I do want to add, for those people who like to warn privately, like to say, hey, just letting you know, like, this is not a conversation that we like to have. So, like, you do that light bit of modding if you want to do like a personal mod. But then if they reply and get aggressive, I would no longer reply, and I would just, you know what I mean? That's another thing that I would add to what Barry said. So if you do feel like you want to message somebody and say, hey, that wasn't, that, like, just letting you know, this is the vibe of our community, like, maybe don't mention this, like, if that's okay. And then if they respond negatively, I would just stop, and then I would tell in the mod chat, by the way, I said this, and then this was the response. I'm no longer responding, just FYI, and do you want me to go ahead and time this person out? How do you feel? And if that was me, and if somebody was being aggressive and rude to my moderator, which has happened, and I said, respect my goddamn moderators, and I banned them. I was like, no. And that has happened, I think, a few months ago, they were being rude to, I don't know if it was Peter Villa or whoever. And then I was like, nah, you're not being rude to my moderators. Like, it's not happening. Like, so just ban them. But I guess it's that relationship, but also securing yourself, like what Barry was saying, like, protect yourself, because if you're having that conversation, like he said, it's not like worth to keep having that argument. I think that's what you said, wasn't it, Barry?
Yeah, and like the open communication is really the important part, right? Yeah. So like, if you're comfortable with moderators sending a message to go, hey, you're reading the room wrong, can you like do this please, or something like that, and they get the angry message back or something, great. As the modder, take a screenshot of that and put it in the mod chat and go, hey, this person might need to be banned because of this, right? Yes. Or something like that, right? Yeah. And that open communication is really how you kind of make it where everybody understands, and it's not like the situation, Kay, that you had, where somebody shows up and just bans somebody. You're like, what happened? Why is somebody, what's happening? I had 3 other mod here and they were all fine with what was happening.
Exactly.
Why is it that somebody, right? And so that open communication kind of prevents a lot of the problems that can come up as part of having multiple people. Yeah.
So Collection or Pete, do you have anything that you wish more people understood about the role?
I think we've covered a lot. Just like most things in life, realize the moderator is also a person. If you've been modded because you've broken the rules, or you feel like you've been unfairly modded, treating people with kindness and respect, it's so easy to do, even if you are a little bit heated, remember that that's still a person there.
Yeah. Tim, do you want to add to that? I'm changing your name, or did you notice?
I saw we were going back and forth. I mean, I think that's a good the place to end it. I would have said the same thing. Like, they're people. Respect them, both from a streamer perspective and just as a person in chat. And as a mod, also, trust in yourself. Trust that your judgments are good because you are doing it on behalf of your friend or the streamer. Like, just be confident in what you're doing, because that also, makes you a better mod too. Being aware that you're doing the right thing, at least according to them and what you think.
Yeah. And something that you said, which is like, a lot of your moderators, for example, are people that you know very well. So I think one thing to remember is that being a mod, you have access to some of our private lives. So and it could potentially change your perspective on that person as well, which is fine. But I think this is why I won't allow just anyone to be a mod for me particularly. And I think I speak for everybody when I say, please stop asking streamers if they would mod you. Like, unless
they'll
you
pick
have,
you.
yes.
If they want you to be a mod, they'll go out of their way to get you.
I have people that will say like, oh my gosh, this person just keeps asking me if I could mod them.
I've had that before.
Yeah, the answer's no.
Right. I'll do it.
Like,
if I wanted you to be a mod,
to,
I'd make you one.
Yeah, if somebody wants to go, hey, I'll be a mod if you want me, great. That's about as far as you go with it. But
right.
Beyond that, no. If there's somebody begging to be a mod, it likely isn't going to turn out well.
Right.
They're for a different reason.
Okay. We covered everything.
I think we did. I think literally everything, A to Z. If you want to be a moderator, you're a viewer, you want to behind the scenes, how it works, or if you want to be a moderator, if you're a streamer, even looking for moderators or you moderate yourself, I think this is it has been an amazing podcast. I wanted to ask, where can listeners find you? Do you guys have any upcoming projects that anyone wants to talk about? I guess I'll start with Pete because I'm going to put him on the spot now. Where can listeners find you? And what is it? Do you have any upcoming projects that people should know about?
So firstly, you can find me, we spoke about this earlier, twitch.tv/pretentious, PTNTIUS. The project I'm always working on is myself to, be better, kind of have that growth, be successful, all those kind of things. I would also just like to take a second to, thank the other mods of K's stream. Of course, Rilla, handsome, so handsome. Oh my God. Great in a suit. Great in a suit.
I heard he's a beaut.
He is absolutely a beaut.
Collections like me.
You want to say?
And shout out to everyone.
You got anything else to say about mods?
Nope.
Okay, that's fine.
No, just mods in general. It can sometimes be a thankless task. You can often be the brand of someone's anger or upset by your actions. So, that's why there is Mod Appreciation Day. What day is that, Kate? Do you know?
I don't know. When is it? I asked you guys.
I do a week. I do a Mod Appreciation week.
Can you not say those kind of things, Collection, around here?
Back to me. Find me. Twitch.tv/pretentious PTN. I'm working on myself. On my streams, we stream usually 4 times a week. I do some knitting. If you've got the video, I'm holding up a heart. This is for you. Take my heart. Take it.
I don't want it. Put it away.
I've got a Pokeball. For Mario Day, that just happened. I'm going to date the podcast. I knit a mystery block.
Cute.
Beautiful.
I have a little blurb about Pete that I'm just going to go through as well.
You got it yourself.
No, it was a combination of, AI and me. Sorry. Listen, you just said I have lots on my plate. Okay. I don't have time to. So with each of these, I wanted to let you know I have said specific things about each of you. And then it's sort of like helped me find more information about you. I don't know how it does that. That's creepy, right? But anyway, let's keep going. Pretentious is a dedicated and engaging Twitch streamer known for their thoughtful approach to building a close-knit, supportive community with a knack for creating a warming, welcoming environment. Pete brings viewers together through interactive gameplay, meaningful conversations, and a strong sense of community values, whether they're exploring unique games or giving great personal advice. Pete offers a refreshing and authentic presence and resonates deeply with their audience, and that's his link right there.
Please rate the accuracy, Pete. It's a scale of 1
it's 100% accurate.
The problem is it's very soulless,
Hey, I reworded this for you. How dare you?
It's hard. What words did you change?
I added things and I took things away.
She changed it from saying pretentious to Pete.
Wow, so rude.
Made it more casual.
Yeah. You guys forget that I write up resumes for people. Come on. Anyway,
with AI? Yikes.
Wow, that's so rude. I had to. I'm not going to go on to this. I'm not. How dare you? Collection. I don't even know if you say that. But where can listeners find you? And do you have any upcoming projects? I feel like one of the projects that you probably want to talk about is the Keep Up, which I have a link for right there. But keep going.
Yeah. From your mom's sister's pet dog's frog to the alien. Okay, anyway, sorry, I had to read that.
Sorry.
So we'll start to Keep Up.
Yeah, sorry. It says the Keep Up podcast, the podcast for everyone, from your mom's sister's pet dog's frog to the aliens in the sky. That's what
it's true. It applies to everybody. So yeah, my brother and I do a podcast called the Keep Up Podcast. Funny enough, we have been taking a little bit of a break from the podcast because our YouTube channel has been doing exceptionally well. We've been doing a lot of reaction content. We've been reacting to a lot of K-pop bands, and apparently people like that. So if you want to see our reactions and some crazy videos, check us out on YouTube at the Keep Up. But you can, if you're just like me and you don't care about my brother, which for shame, he's a cool guy, you can check me out at Collection Revolution all over the place. I stream at least a handful of times a week, try to do 3 to 4 streams a week on Twitch and YouTube. I'm also on YouTube. I'm doing this 30 for 30 challenge where I challenge myself to do 30 things because I'm now 30 years old. This month I'm focusing on a fitness challenge, so I'm losing a lot of weight and working out, and it's boring if you don't care about that stuff. But if you do, it's pretty cool. So I'm vlogging, do a bunch of crazy stuff like that. So feel free to check me out there. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about
I just wanted to add that there's a vlog of him going to a nightclub for the first time. It's pretty hilarious. You should watch it. And the choice of clothes, the choice of shirt he chose to wear.
I would say Tim also had an excellent transition that he posted on Blue Sky. Just recently,
the grilled cheese.
The grilled cheese,
so good. It's 2 separate clips. People think it's one. It's legit 2 separate clips, and I couldn't believe it. That will be in the vlog as well. The whole creation.
I also say Tim's 30 for 30. He's looking for a date, so
Well, there you go.
It's true. One of my goals is to find a date. So if you're interested,
ladies.
So if you like what you saw on this podcast or the other episodes of the podcast or the Keep Up podcast or twitch.tv/Collection Revolution, he's looking for a date.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. I'll count an e-date. An e-date will count.
Well, actually, Pete is also single, ladies. So if
oh, he's a single lady.
All of them, apparently.
All the single ladies.
All the single ladies.
Oh, that's hilarious. I actually have many of these for Collection, but we'll do this one. Collection is a talented and passionate variety streamer who loves collecting and playing all kinds of games, modern, retro, and indie, with a lifelong love of gaming that began at just 2 years old, itty bitty baby. With Super Mario Brothers, he shares his vast collection and game adventures with his community. Expect goofy moments mixed with epic gameplay as he tackles his massive backlog, a gifted content creator and a great friend. His streams are a celebration of gaming's past and present. And I think that really sums up Collection really well. And
thanks, AI.
Thanks. You can't just give everything to AI. This is why it's just I'm so sad. But I had to put together all this information for you too. Anyway,
it's true. I don't think AI would be able to pull all this together.
Barry, if listeners who found it very pleasant to hear you today, do you have any upcoming projects? I mean, I know you're not a streamer, but but where can listeners find you if they want to be your friend?
The most common place is probably in Tim's stream.
So another shout out to Tim then. Okay.
Yeah, basically. shout out Collection Revolution. I am a relatively private person in the grand scheme of things. I come from a slightly different era of internet openness than a lot of the I'm a millennial, so it's a little bit different from a lot of people. So in terms of what my boundaries that I set for my public information thing. So no, not really. I don't have any main projects or anything like that I'm working on. I am happy to mod around on Twitch in various places, and you'll probably catch me in Tim and Mango in UK and various other people's streams. And Pete doesn't normally stream when I'm able to watch Twitch, so sorry, Pete, I can't be in your channel very much. But I'm around in places, and honestly, one of the most common, partially because the schedule, is Tim's stream. So go check out Tim's stream, and I likely will be there at some point during the stream.
Or he's in our Discord, so you could always find him there.
I am in Discord a lot. If you need me, you can reach me.
You find him in our Discord.
I've heard some good things about OneoftheBarrys Blue Sky account. Is that true?
I have a Blue Sky account. If you would like to get 75% current U.S. politics, because there's a lot going on right now.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like everywhere is
25%.
Yeah.
Comics internet comics and
memes,
and some memes and jokes and dog pictures.
Yeah,
cute. We rate dogs.
So follow for dog pictures. Cute.
It's a lot. It is currently quite politics heavy, so I'm going to apologize for that, and I don't necessarily encourage anybody to follow me unless you really like that kind of thing.
That's fair.
But I do have a blurb prepared For Barry, I have scoured the internet for this. Like on his page as well. So one of the Barrys, or Barry, in his words, nerd, gamer, and lifelong learner with a voice that really carries. If you've heard him throughout the stream, obviously. The podcast, I mean. A dedicated mod and a Twitch veteran since 2019. He's known for keeping communities running smoothly. Off stream, his dad goals, being a dog, cat, human dad who scored a big time with a Mrs. Barry. Shout out Mrs. Barry. His name is inspired by the Film Reroll podcast. This is a different podcast where movies meet RPG chaos. So if you love good conversations, gaming, and a touch of Barry charm, you're in the right place. And that's his link. If he ever decides to stream in the future, you can hit him a follow.
Know. Life's
go.
long.
Yeah.
Lots of things can happen.
Yeah.
I've not said it won't ever happen. It's just not something I have anything I'm doing right now.
Do you like the blurb that I prepared for you, Barry?
I do. It's pretty accurate throughout there. I will even go to the specifics of the film reroll episode where the name comes from is actually from E.T.
Oh.
The film reroll takes movies and they replay them as like a D&D type game, right?
Yeah.
And
Which is so cool.
It's really chaotic. I've seen, yes.
But it means that in the E.T. episode, the name comes from E.T. was helping defend Earth from invading aliens. So,
of course.
It's a fun level up.
Yeah.
And interesting.
Yeah.
I figured your name was a reference to Archer, if you've seen Archer.
It is not Archer. I will say years ago, in the chat that was like the first one I really was a big mod for, there was a chat consensus that a group of berries is called a Manilow. And
that's so funny.
I like that one.
Perfect. That's great.
Love it. So make sure to follow and check out all our guests, and there'll be a link in the description below. And thank you for joining us for season 4 of Streamer Therapy podcast. Thank you for Collection, Barry, Pretentious for joining me as well. We have been UK, Collection Revolution, Pretentious, and One of the Barrys, and you have been the best listener. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.
Wow.